Rialto Theater, about 15 minutes after 9 p.m., March 20-something. But I put my phones down, so I don't know what date it is. I'm sitting up on the stage, and a lot of people are talking.
We're going to go out the back door?
Yes, I have equipment in my pockets, so here we go. We're going into the alleyway because we keep getting weird.
Okay.
I've always had weird feelings back there when they did ghost walking tours. So,
Okay. Have fun. If you get stuck, bang on the door, I'll let you in. Maybe. Current ambient temperature is 68.1 degrees Fahrenheit. Is there anybody here who'd like to talk to me? We've got lots of ways for you to let me know you're here. We've got all these green dots. You can move some of them. I have something that can record your voice in my hands. In center stage, I have a little black box that'll light up if you go near it. We've got cameras all over the place. So if you'd like for us to see you, there's lots of ways for you to show up. And we'd like to talk to you. We'd really like to make contact with you. We want to hear your story. Everyone has a story here. And we want to hear yours. We want to know who you are. Can you tell me your name? Oh, a little movement upstairs on the balcony. I'm walking around. Is there somebody named Pablo here? Did you work here? Did you take care of this place? One of the ladies said that you wear heavy boots and you're afraid of scuffing up the stage. If you cared about scuffing up the stage, then you cared a lot about this theater. And it's been closed for a while. Have you been waiting here this whole time, waiting for the theater to open back up? What did you do here? Did you build the sets? That's Joshua moving. That was my foot creaking. And we got voices from the alley. My friend Joshua would really like to feel something that you can do. Can you tap him on the shoulder? Can they tap your shoulder? He's up on the balcony. He's got the camera, and he's wearing the green vest. He can't hear you. He's deaf, but he sure can feel you. And he'd love to feel a tap on the shoulder.
And I'm wondering if maybe they couldn't get out because maybe the fire was back in that area and not up front. You don't happen to remember when the fire was?
I'll look that up.
Okay.
People coming in from the back. A lot of noise.
Well, we went up to I'm answering a question. We went upstairs, and then we just had this sensation just to go out to the alleyway. So we went out there, and now we have set up some more equipment. As you can tell, we have what they call a green grid, and yeah. So
Finally tuned piece of
what
equipment
you've,
called a Tim.
That's what you've missed. It's super exciting. But we've been getting kind of feelings. I'm going to come sit over here because it is really cold over here. I don't know why it's so cold over here. I'm feeling cold over
We were
here.
just outside though.
Yeah, but at the same time.
The wall by Elise is 59.9 degrees. The opposite wall is 58.8, 59.0. The center floor, 61 degrees. The stage is 61.8. So not too much in the way of...
But not too much.
It's actually warmer over there than it is over here. Ambient temperature.
Well, we're coming to come visit with you again.
is
Right here.
66.7.
That guy again. And I just all of a sudden feel super cold. Like, I know we were just outside, but it was just like we just haven't even left outside kind of feeling. Hello? We'd really like to hear what you have to say.
I'm kind of wondering, Elise, if that fire might have had to do with an insurance fraud.
Makes sense.
Because I see two things. I see fire and explosion. And let's just hypothetically say maybe they were running a still or something out there or in the back. Maybe they were moving whatever this contraband thing is through that back alley. But maybe somebody needed the insurance money and they set ablaze. Or maybe it had something to do with whatever they were doing in the back. I mean, I'm not saying it was alcohol, but if it was, it's highly flammable.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what's going on with that.
Well, determining on the time frame, if it was
It's
prohibition,
before 1940.
that would be prohibition. Or it could be
right?
prohibition.
But that was done in 33, right?
Right. Well, you said
1933.
before 1940.
Right,
so
right. Right,
that
so that would
that does
narrow it
include.
down,
Yep.
right?
And,
If it was related to that even.
Could be.
and the 30s on, this was a pretty much a theater, but they had a
Mhm.
hard time keeping, owners. As
Huh.
you can tell, they had a really hard time keeping owners because this place was, really the first set of owners they were able to remodel it.
Yeah,
and
in
do
at least
stuff.
10
It's
years,
always
because it was
had
shut down when I moved here in '07.
Yeah, it had, and it went through owners, like you would have, a theater for a couple of years, and then it would, go out of business, and then it would be picked up by somebody else. Well, before the 30s, it was like a store and a post office
Hmm.
kind of in a way, and like they would sell like some goods, but then they would also be mostly a post office,
Mhm, mhm.
So, and so, you don't know between here and the 30s ish, it was like, around like 33,
Right.
34 time, but that's just how I see it is, what happened between that time and,
Mhm,
until
mhm.
it became a theater.
Right.
So,
Josh was just saying that there's a really big orb that sort of did one of these right next to me.
That's where I was getting the
On that side?
thing earlier.
Huh, interesting.
And that was the female and the man with the work boots.
With the boots. Hmm.
well, I'm glad that you enjoyed watching this, Teresa. And then, yeah, I like that show too. She's talking about the TV show she likes. And she likes watching us, Sex and the TV show. Right now, we're just kind of seeing if something will show up here now. Some people walking in the background.
It'd be interesting to see the original blueprints.
I could try to get that too.
Did you go over to the Historical Society and see if they have a file on the address on the building?
Yeah, I did, but they didn't have like very much as like the address and who owned it, and then they told me to go to the courthouse.
Okay.
So, because they did, as much as they have, the research, like I said, they had such iffy owners that it was hard to keep, a lot of the history. Oh, of course, I dropped something. I'm sorry. I dropped papers and Do you not mind if I turn on the ghost box? It's one of my favorite tools to use. Yeah, the last time that REM card went off was that investigation I was telling you about.
At the house?
Yeah, I was telling her about it too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just trying to get help. Okay, this is your time to say something if you would like to tell us anything. I put out something that might make it easier for you to speak through. This is what we call a spirit box. I did bring this out.
I'm setting it down.
say something? Because that was kind of weird.
It's back.
Slow it down a little bit.
It's right over here again.
I think he's trying to talk. Because I keep getting a man talking and it's the same voice.
So if there's something you want to say, go ahead and say it into that little box right there.
It's that voice. The music isn't the music that's playing on the, did you notice that?
Can you tell us your name? I feel strongly the presence of a woman here named Mary. Is your name Mary? Mary, are you here?
You have something to say, I keep hearing ya. You say it a little louder? What would you like us to help you with? I am going to announce to this live feed here, my phone is about to die, so we're going to at least end our session on live feed here. Here, this will be like your last chance to ask any questions or anything. So yeah. Thank you guys all for joining me and Bozeman Paranormal and Kathleen Johns with us on Live View tonight. This is your chance to say something. Tell us a name. Tell us your story.
Sometimes I just let the ghost thoughts run.
Okay, we're gonna end this live feed. Thank you all for coming. And sorry that my battery has died. This has probably been the longest live feed I've ever done. But anyways, thank you for joining us at the Rialto Theater, and yeah.
Is it alright if I take a few pictures?
Yes. Man, we had 76.
Is it better for me to turn off my flash then, right?
Yeah, you can turn off your flash or put your flash on. We just say flash. Unless you're Josh Bush. You can't really say flash.
Does it make a difference in what you capture if you put the flash on?
Flash on, flash off. It doesn't-
The
well,
flash off is going to slow down your shutter speed, so you need to hold it really steadily, or else you get a whole streaky picture.
Okay, flash off slows down your shutter speed?
Right, right. Now, what I like to do is use the camera on a tripod with a timer and set to like a 10-second long aperture, so that if anything is coming across, it'll pick it up. But your heartbeat is enough to make it blurry at that rate.
Well, my husband wanted to be here tonight because he had worked with Pablo before
Oh, Like
as a
the
musician.
actually,
and-
like in real life, or
Yeah, here,
Wow.
in Bozeman.
Jeez.
And for the last, yesterday, he Pablo had been on his mind all day, and then Elise told me that you guys got the EVP of a Pablo, and I said something to my husband, and he said, "You're shitting me, right?" And I said, "No, why? What do you know about that?" And he said, "Pablo Elvira."
Huh.
He performed with him, I think the last time in the 1990s over at the Wilson. So he wanted to be here tonight, but around 4 o'clock this afternoon, all of a sudden he said he felt really not well and really tired. So he decided to stay home. But I wish he hadn't.
It's an active evening.
I think it is. I think you're gonna find some stuff on the data that you've got here.
What you should do is play that song again,
All right, let's do it.
because sometimes that helps doing it a couple times. I have a voice recording on too.
Okay. Hey, Pablo.
I also have the ghost box on, so if you would like to respond to the song while it's going, you're welcome to.
Your old collaborator, Robbie Johns, wanted me to play this song for you. It's mandolin and baritone perform Mozart's canzonetta from Don Giovanni. It's a piece that you and Robbie worked on together for the Ellen Theater, or I'm sorry, not the Ellen, for the Wilson Auditorium. Of course, this isn't you singing or Robbie playing, but I think it's the same sentiment.
did you think about that?
Lisa, I want to play one more song if we
It's
have
fine.
time. We have Pablo actually singing a piece from Lucia.
Whoa.
So this is his voice.
God, it's not, I think it's him.
Pablo? I do too. So, sorry, that was my Siri going off. It said, hello there,
Yeah.
in a man's voice. Thank you for coming and sharing some time with us. If this is Pablo, I felt you touch me on the leg about the same time that Elise was having her hair tapped. So someone's here. Did you enjoy the music we played for you? Thank you for letting us know that you're here. Yes? When we asked if they enjoyed it? Did you enjoy the music that we played for you? Pablo, was that you singing? Did you touch Elise's hair and my leg to let us know that you're here?
I think we're gonna get some weird. You can tell the difference between the radio and the voice.
Yeah.
But it got colder in here really fast. I'm like freezing.
When you were,
It felt like something.
right
like-
before you grabbed for your hair, something brushed me right here on the leg and went past, and I'm kind of, I keep feeling so
Yeah.
much right in this
And then
area.
when it got to like almost to like mid of the song, it just got super cold.
Yeah.
Like it's just super cold.
It's actually another
And it
degree
didn't
warmer
feel
there.
like the man that we've been talking to. It didn't feel like, it felt so different.
Like the worker guy.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it. I mean, I don't feel like if Papa's here, he's happy.
You feel like he's happy, me too. I feel like he's happy that there's life here again,
Yeah.
that there's music, that people are doing
That's why-
something
That's-
wonderful.
I
here.
feel like when I had my first encounter with him, he wanted to make himself known because he wanted something to happen. He was not happy that the Rialto was not going anywhere. But now he's, hello. Are you happy how the Rialto is now? I'm so freezing.
Pablo, this building is gonna be filled again with music and laughter and entertainment. Does that make you happy?
Something about over.
About what?
Something about over. It didn't sound like a man, it sounded like a woman.
Mhm.
Is that the voice you were hearing earlier?
Mary?
Mm-hmm.
She was just crying.
But that sounded like a woman's voice. The thing is about ghost boxes, we're literally having a conversation with whatever's walking outside right now, or, it's a beacon thing.
So it picks up radio
Mhm.
frequency?
Yeah, but I always feel like we're always catching things from not just the room itself. I was in Anaconda and I had a conversation with a woman that wasn't even in the building, like, she kept saying help, she wanted help, but I was like telling her, like, I can't help you if you're not here. I
Right.
mean, it's impossible, so.
Well, my philosophy is that they're where they need to be for a reason, and I think that what I'm seeing with Mary is simply residual of a time when she had suffered great grief and loss.
She's probably not even here at all anyway, so.
It's just a remnant, but the man in the work boots feels very active and
And he's very
intelligent,
intelligent, he's been,
and so does Pablo.
I think Pablo is definitely, I've been feeling Pablo in and out.
But he's
So-
also, Pablo's also laughing at us, and I don't understand what that's about.
He's probably
If
like,
it's
why are you?
joy, or if he's saying, you know, you guys are something else,
Get off the
know?
stage, you hack.
He's probably like,
Like all this
You.
fuss over me?
yeah, maybe
Um,
that.
so-
Well, we heard you earlier. We heard I caught you on a recording and was wondering why you wanted to make sure your name known.
So, you know that I'm not sensitive,
Yeah,
but I
you
felt
just-
a significant difference between that first song you played and the second song you played. As soon as that second
Oh.
song came up, I just got this warmth, this almost
Like he's almost
pushing
on
me.
stage.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's
Kinda.
like I was not getting pushed forward, but I felt my energy being pulled out towards the audience.
That first one, if I'm not mistaken, was not Pablo singing. The second one was.
Right,
The
so I'm
first
wondering if-
one was just the piece that he had worked on with my husband, but let me
Mhm.
double check that. It just says mandolin and baritone, and it's the Pittsburgh Symphony, but it doesn't say here who the performer was.
It definitely did sound like.
And it was from 2014, so I think Pablo passed away long before then,
Yeah,
didn't
he
he?
totally did because we went
Oh.
here.
Something just tapped me on the head.
I think it might have been- We're talking about Pablo.
Okay.
So
Shall I play another short one of Pablo's?
We've
and
jumped
just
up
see?
like 6
we might
degrees.
as well play another.
So
thing
we're
of
at
Pablo.
64.9 when you said it was cold. It's now 70.3 ambient temperature.
That's weird. It's super
But I don't
cold,
feel any warmer, but the thermometer's saying it's 5 degrees warmer, which should be
which it
easily
wouldn't-
felt. And that's, you know,
That's interesting. Is it makes sense? It's drawing the air from the
and let's see, you're
area
at,
to maybe he's trying to play on stage.
that wall is like the
You
same
guys
as
have to
61.8,
so
62
maybe
degrees,
we'll catch Pablo singing on the stage.
61.
Why
If-
don't we do another one with Pablo, and this time
Yes.
he's singing with a lady.
And like I said, you
He
guys.
seems to like the women too. I mean, he keeps coming over here to me and,
Hey, there's something wrong with that.
Elise, you know, maybe he, okay, so I'm gonna start this one.
And like I said, Pablo, if you would like to
Oops,
speak,
go ahead.
if you would like to speak, I have this also really close to the ghost box. So if you would like to sing in it through the ghost box, you're welcome to. So there we go.
the
did
lady
feel
was
something.
singing a lot more than he
Yeah,
was in
and then got that
piece.
first time you put it on, I felt like something took the strand of my head, or poked my head.
I
So-
got that too.
It was
Almost
okay.
like pay attention.
We're paying attention. Are you on the stage? We would like to see you perform.
What a beautiful voice.
Yeah. We
Did you
really
feel
enjoyed
anything up
that.
there?
I didn't feel so much that one.
Yeah.
It sort of came and went a little bit. But definitely that second one that you played, like as soon as it started, you know, it just sort of washed over.
I've never done any research on him, what his favorite operas were to perform or anything like that, but I think I'm going to
I think that,
and find out.
because I think he's very much made himself known after the second one.
Well, and I kind
So-
of wonder if anybody has any recordings of his performances. I'm gonna ask my husband to see if he knows who was running sound for those performances. Maybe we could actually get a performance of Pablo singing locally. Maybe that would be something he would respond to. I don't
I
know.
think so, because after you put that second recording on, he definitely responded to.
Well, I know
to it,
I've done a lot of,
especially touching.
I've done a lot of research on digital versus analog, and the resonance that analog carries is very different than what digital carries.
Mhm.
And I'm just kind of wondering if someone has a reel-to-reel audio,
Which would be awesome. Because after being.
because there's vibration on there that isn't in the digital. And I can hear it and I can feel it, and I can actually feel the difference between a digital recording and an analog recording.
Which is interesting, yeah. I
Yeah.
would like to see the difference.
Well,
I
do you
just like-
remember listening to something on an old phonograph?
Yeah.
And you can hear the difference, not because the recording's old,
Because
but
it's like-
because the
Yeah,
resonance
like
is
that.
different?
I can
And-
totally remember, like the difference between the digital to the analog.
Well,
Because it's like, you know, this will be just a digital copy of what's going on in the area, and you can tell the difference, but it's more staticky and more,
right.
yeah.
And I
so-
don't know how digital works exactly, if it works on a radio frequency or what,
Mhm.
but when you're playing reel-to-reel, or you're playing cassette tape, or 8-track, or even a record on a turntable, it has to spin at a certain
Mhm.
speed. So you've got speed
Yeah.
going on, the needle drops, it makes the sound. It's an alchemy that comes together. It's metaphysics, it's, you're dealing with speed and then sound. And there's something different that happens there than what happens with digital. And I don't know exactly how to explain it exactly, but I can feel the difference in the vibration
That's
because
right.
I'm clairaudient. I can feel
Yeah.
the difference in the vibration.
Okay.
You might be able
Perfect.
to.
Apparently something said
Perfect.
perfect.
Well,
Agree with
Did I
you.
explain that to your satisfaction?
It was definitely a little kid.
Perfect.
That's what it was. Totally was perfect for that, whatever it was in here.
Maybe to explain it to a 3-year-old, it was perfect.
Yeah, whatever 3-year-old child is in here right now. I don't think, like I said, this collects whatever is around. It could be whatever's down the block,
Well,
honestly.
they're doing all kinds of performances in here, so there's been kids in here recently,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But, well, whatever just responded to you said it was perfect, whatever you were talking about. Ghost box should be kind of silly. Sometimes ghosts is like spirits' response, because they're kind of sometimes random and out there sometimes on the ghost box.
Interesting. I've
Yeah.
never worked with a ghost box
But
before.
this is your first time? with-
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting, huh?
It is, it's really different. I don't use electronics in
Mhm.
my work because I'm so sensitive to them that I have been known to make them turn on when they're off
Yeah.
and have them have a lot of issues because of my own
Mhm.
electromagnetic energy, so I just don't use them.
But yeah, like this
But-
is because no spirits talk
Yeah.
through white noise.
Yeah.
So, it seems to help.
Right.
Living up to like Bear Canyon, there's no radio signal out there at all, like.
Tell me about it, that's where I live.
Yeah, and it goes
can't
off.
even get the internet up
There's
there.
definitely something up at Bear Canyon.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Interesting.
very interesting. Whatever was up there, I didn't even talk about my name, and it said my name.
That's interesting.
So,
So over here at what is now Cello, the people that I worked with at the Odyssey, she had the whole first floor and the whole bottom floor. And when you would go down into the basement, there was an office down there where we kept all the money and the banking, we did it was the manager's office. And we would go down there to get the money to go to the bank or make a bank run or whatever. And the lady that was down there would hear something calling her name. And it would say, we'll just say her name was Sally.
oh, wow. Look at,
Is
so
it in
this
order?
was when when we were doing that recording.
Should we play it again and just,
See, like, look at, so,
the first
See,
recording
there's
or
the
the
sec-
second recording?
he's deaf.
It was it the first song or the second song? I don't know.
So this was the second picture he took,
Mhm.
and then this is the first.
Oh, he just took that picture now.
Oh,
Oh,
just
he
now?
just now.
Yeah, he caught my attention
Oh, not now.
and said it was something was right over there. So yeah, it was.
My sign language is very rusty.
Yeah, and mine, I am just
It's
learning.
been 30 years since I
Yeah,
had
I-
an interpreter.
He is super sensitive.
Yeah, yeah, well,
He
we,
can probably know.
what's his name?
Joshua?
Joshua, I think that Joshua and I have talked before, it's because when you have one of your senses diminished, like if you're blind or you're deaf or tactily, somehow not using all of your sensations, then what will happen is your other sensations will make up for that loss. And ESP is, it comes from the 8th chakra, and it's a sense we don't really talk about, but it's extrasensory.
Like, we did an investigation at the Fox News,
Mhm.
and they kept like tugging his jacket.
At the station here in
Yeah,
town,
Yeah,
they think there's something in
there
there?
was totally something in there. Because there used to be a plastic surgery building,
Yeah,
and then,
'cause I know a lot of people that have worked in that building.
and
over
then
years.
they kept hearing like residual like lines like papers, moving. They kept sounding like, a person on the phone. And then she saw, my friend, which you know,
Tanya,
yeah.
yeah, she
saw-
used to work in there, that's why I
So-
was thinking about that.
She saw recently, like gremlin, like
Yeah,
creature hunched over like this in the boss's office.
like an elemental,
It was totally an elemental,
it's probably attached to the boss.
unfortunately, because it wasn't, never showed up after.
Yeah,
But there was so much more activity in there than we thought.
Yeah.
Like, we had one lady that was sensitive. She was a little bit even more sensitive than you, because she was, I think, in between being a medium, which she didn't do, because she couldn't she had a hard time accepting it, is what that was.
I
'Cause-
see.
So when we were walking in there, she said, the ghost box said, I'm a boy, and she goes, no, it's not a boy, and she like stormed out of the building, like crying for some reason. And I was like, I can't do much about that, I only feel the things in the room.
Yeah.
So, and then she came back in, and she had like marks on her skin.
Interesting.
So I was like, that was weird, but we cleansed the building and we never heard from it again, so.
Well,
But also,
sometimes,
I told her that the residual part won't go away, because it's just part of the, she's like, we just get used to the paper. But they said that they've seen paper like floating in the air and walk, poor people have to work there after hours.
yeah.
And then,
Right.
yeah,
Well,
so,
dermographism on the skin can often be caused when people, like the medium or the channel themselves is emotionally upset.
that's why I'm thinking, that's what, she had more, like, when I was around her, like, when I'm around you, I think, like, she was more, like, it was almost too overwhelming for me to even sit next to her,
Probably because she
so.
doesn't understand what's
Yeah.
happening.
Like, I kept having, like, for me, I kept like trying to avoid her, I felt like, so it was like that kind of feeling.
So what happened next door with this thing down in the basement, the manager or the owner all the time would hear her name being called when she was down there, you know, Sally, Sally, Sally. Well, my name's not Sally. I go down there one day to get the money in for the deposit for the bank because the manager wasn't there and I needed to go and help with the bookkeeping. And I went down just to grab the deposit bag. I mean, literally, I was down there for 2 minutes. And whatever it was, as I was walking out, started saying, Sally, 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 and grabbed me by the arm. Yeah. And lots of people that worked there had that happen in the basement. But it was a bank for years before it became retail.
Banks are always weird when it comes to.
Well, Sylvester's or the Golden Rule, it was a bank. You know, now it's Heyday. It was a bank too. You would imagine that there were robberies, that there was embezzlement, that there was all kinds of weird stuff going on in
I
banks.
even found out about the first robbery in Bozeman. It was kind of the saddest robbery ever. But
Really? Did they
yeah,
not
it was
get
over
anything?
by the first security bank. Yeah, they got money, but they got killed up on the Gallatin Hills.
Oh,
They didn't
wow.
get very far, pretty much, is what that was.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, it was the first robbery in Bozeman.
That's weird.
It was at the, well, originally the First Security Bank was, of course, not called the First Security Bank.
No.
And then, when it became, you know, at that time, it ended up becoming the First Security Bank. It was only like in the 1920s or around there, they had a robbery, and it was the first robbery in Bozeman. And the man ended up being killed. So,
Wow.
yeah, but who knows? People like listening to murder.
Murder talk.
Yeah. Hello, I know we are ignoring you, and I feel rude. Do we want to play Pablo's song? Because I feel Pablo, it
Should
makes
we
me
play that one
feel
again?
good that it kind of validates some of my. The remodel, I think, really stirred up some stuff in here.
It probably did.
Robert,
Yeah, that's my husband, and I was just checking my messages from him.
well, the ghost box has said Robert.
Pablo, Robbie wanted to be here tonight, but he's not feeling well.
That sounded like a moan.
Do you remember Robert Johns on mandolin?
Are you guys gonna head
Yeah,
out?
we gotta go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
But thank you so much, no, that was awesome. That was
Yeah,
long
and if
stuff.
you want to, come to our next meeting, it's April 15th.
Absolutely, for 15, what time?
It's at 6:30 at Perkins.
Perkins? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll send you a reminder.
Thank you.
Are you one
Appreciate
of the
it.
MSU students?
I am, yes.
I did a film with MSU students about maybe 1998, I think.
Yeah.
And you might want to see, do they keep the student films on file?
They should have that one.
We did it about the sub ballroom.
Okay,
you should
cool.
look
I'll
at
check
And
it
we
out.
got stuff happened
Oh,
during
nice.
the filming. In the sub ballroom before they tore it down.
Oh, okay, awesome.
It was-
Theater is super haunted.
Yeah, it was between 90.
We already confirmed that pretty much.
It would have been, it would have been before 2002, between like 94 and 2002, somewhere in there. I know that's a big range. I can't remember the names of the kids, but it was their senior film, and I think they did it for Dennis Egg, but I'm not sure.
Okay, they keep all the senior films, so I can definitely find it.
So look through it and see if there's anything on the sub ballroom.
Because that would be awesome to add too.
Yeah.
My name at the time was Kathleen, Jillson, Gilson,
Okay.
and it was really about my work.
Gotcha, okay.
Find a copy of it, let me know, because I never saw it.
Oh, well, if I can find one, I'll get you one.
Thank you.
All right.
I've been in a lot of student films and I never got copies.
Oh, that sucks. Well, you can copy this one.
Actually had a member in the group, which is neat, which I had somebody in the group that did a student film on the group, and
Yeah.
they gave us a copy afterwards. so.
Yes.
Well, you can have a copy of this,
Yeah.
at the very least.
Yay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Thank you
I'll-
so much for coming out.
Oh,
and,
this is awesome.
I really enjoyed it.
We
This
got a
thing,
lot.
it's not that scary as they
Yeah.
put it on the
Well, let's go.
TV.
Let's go to Deer Lodge and see what happens there.
Deer Lodge is super, I don't even, Kathleen wouldn't let me at the
Going to
moment.
Deer
No,
Lodge,
no, no, I'm not allowed there right now.
We're gonna fix that.
'Cause I'm pretty sure I put off a lot of, I'm pretty drained.
One of the scariest places I've ever been was a jail. It was in Ireland called in Cork, the Galmain jail. Really, really, really frightening. Really frightening. But not because anything was gonna get me, it's just that the spirits were so active and they were everywhere.
Like you just can't.
You could hear them
prevent-
crying, you could see, you could just, it was all there. It was really weird.
I think that, really Deer Lodge is like the most, I won't go walk in there, and I can't go in there for very long, it's on, it's too much negativity in one area.
Yeah.
It's too much. Especially since I saw turkey meat.
Yeah, kind of like turkey meat.
Yeah.
All right, well, awesome. It was very nice to meet you,
too.
and I
Yeah,
will totally be in touch.
Yeah,
Take
totally.
care.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, no, it was so fun.
Make sure you grab everything,
Yeah,
'cause
we
that's
will
their stuff.
definitely don't.
Like,
Don't grab my
it's-
stuff.
Yeah, it's your stuff.
Too.
Yeah. They're gonna, but yeah, thank you for coming. This was
Thank
so
you for
fun.
inviting me, and thank you to whoever's
this
in this
was-
building
this
for
was-
making us feel welcome.
This was the most mild I can do, because at least Pablo just touches you on the head.
Thank you for sharing your energy with us tonight. I have to
Yes.
leave now.
Not allowed to leave with her.
Goodbye. I'm leaving you here for another day, another
Yes.
time.
You have to be really concerned. It was just like, they're all like, hey,
Yes.
wanna be my friend tonight?
Well, I have a feeling that Pablo's with Robbie, and he's been there like in and out all day, because Robbie doesn't get to not feeling well
So
like
do you
that.
really feel like Pablo's here?
Yeah. And I really feel like it's really, really weird that Robbie was thinking about him. Yesterday, what he was thinking about was that time that they performed together, and then you said something to me about getting in here yesterday, you told me, right? It was yesterday. And then you said, maybe Pablo's still there, and I'm like, who's Pablo? And I'm reading that to Robbie, he was sitting right next to me, he goes, not Pablo, Pablo Elvira? And I said, did you know him? He said, one of the best things I ever performed with him was when I accompanied him on mandolin at the Wilson Theater. He said it was one of the best performances of his life, collaborating with Pablo, because Pablo was such a professional.
It has to, that just can't be a coincidence on its own.
That he was thinking about it,
Mhm.
and he said, you shitting me? Really? Like,
Yeah,
this is
it's-
really happening?
it's
Like,
like
he
a-
was stunned.
I feel like it's a sign, maybe.
Well, and then he wasn't feeling well tonight. All of a sudden, around 4 o'clock, he just got sick. And that doesn't happen to him normally. He said all of his energy felt drained, and he felt kind of nauseous.
I
and
bet
he-
you when you go home, he'll tell you that he's having some experiences.
He's been trying to send me some weird messages, they're digital fingerprint messages or something. I don't even know what they are.
And even tell you, because.
And I'm like, what is that? And I don't know what it is. I've never seen it before. All right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
It was-
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, I'm glad that you came. This was like really fun. I enjoyed it.
Do you wanna walk me out?
Yeah, I will walk you out.
Bye, everyone.
I'm leaving the go spot
Okay.
for talking. I think we felt like pretty energy reached at this point.
Well, it's also late.
Yeah, it's late for me because I'm working 11 hours a day.
Yeah, I've got to be able to go tomorrow too. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
I want to show you something.
Okay, she wants to go.
No, I might take off, but you gonna let me know if you got anything? Sweet. What, you don't review their final footage or anything?
Well, it's now back down to 64.7, so it dropped another 5 degrees since the last time I checked the temperature. Whether that's the HVAC system or not, I don't know. But the Elise and the other lady left the room, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Josh was saying that the couple of the security cameras moved on their own. Now, they were a little precarious to begin with, so I'm not super suspicious, but
Ghosts are affecting the legs.
Is it, or is it ghost hugs?
Ghost hugs.
The tingle means it's working. For sure. Like when I say something stupid like that, with me. What's this box doing? Oh, it's hello there.
What happened to all these?
oh, I think Elise is locked outside.
Oh.
Oh,
She's waving at the door.
I'm not serious, by the way.
Come on, Joshua, look.
So were you down here when we played the Pablo opera?
You know, I joined the first one, with the one that you guys said wasn't him. I didn't know it was him, so when you guys asked if that was his voice, and the ghost box said,
Oh, wow. And then the second time we were sitting here, it felt like somebody grabbed my hair. I was getting very much pet and touched on my hair. It's very much a ghost. It's very spazzy.
yeah, right by the,
It's the ones with the smoky hair. He's preventing forest fire.
yeah.
Very confusing forest fire.
watching.
Those are all individually painted, by the way.
My ghost box is blinking.
Like PVRA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe there's that. No, it's not.
It's alright. Just enjoy her. It's basically, we, these things, like
I just have those doubled up so they're not right in the way of the 360 camera.
That's fine.
So, okay. Are you from the theater here, or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I work here. I just heard that paranormal, Bozeman paranormal.
Right,
So
right.
here I'm just like, ooh, wait.
Nice.
Can I come? And they're like, yeah, sure. Why not?
Excellent.
Well,
So would a Zoom catch anything?
Possibly. So, are you familiar with EVPs, electronic
that's
voice
my
phenomenon?
ghost box.
Not really. No.
So the theory is that
Are you there?
the components inside can be affected by ghosts.
Yeah.
So that's why we'll have one-sided conversations with hand recorders.
Yeah.
We don't hear anything, but when you go and play it back,
That you might get.
there's
back. Yeah.
oftentimes there's some weird stuff like, okay, I know that noise wasn't there.
Yeah.
So, but that's also why I have multiple things running, because there was one time, we were at the Procrastinator Theater, and
Wait, is the procrastinator haunted?
oh yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah.
Things I didn't know.
So,
So her voice, we were both in the theater, maybe 20 feet apart, probably about this distance, and this was set up on a tripod, so it wasn't getting handled or anything. Her recorder caught, I forget what it is, it was a female's voice, right? And then mine, because you could hear her say the same exact thing, mine caught nothing. So it's not like somebody said something, because if somebody said something in the room, this will
Yeah.
pick it up. But hers picked it up, mine didn't. Okay.
Would there
So-
be is there a logical paranormal reason why one recorder would pick one up? And
Well,
is
if-
it just proximity or is it
I guess if the spirit is affecting this device,
Yeah.
they have very limited energy, so they can affect one little thing,
okay?
so that it wouldn't affect something 20 feet away.
Yeah.
So
but so
Wow.
when we were in there.
No, that's really cool.
Cindy,
yeah,
Cindy decided that she wanted to go through some of her, because she went through the investigation too. She wanted to, go through it. And her
And the REM pod.
editing
Right.
videos.
Yeah. So that was going crazy earlier a little bit.
was it? Yeah, I didn't see it do anything.
Apparently, when we were all setting up here,
Oh, really?
it just started going nuts.
Huh. Yeah, that thing never does anything.
They told me to shut
Yeah.
up.
Well, you were happy.
I remember that.
I was like,
Wait,
She's talking
A
too
ghost
much.
told you to shut up?
Yeah, in the procrastinator.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You can't talk during the show, Elise.
You can't top that. You can't be top being told to shut up by a ghost.
yeah, I totally tells me to shut up. That's why we played Pablo's singing, because
Yeah.
we caught that voice, and we totally felt like, right when I was sitting there, it got super cold, or I was sitting right there, and it felt like somebody tugged my hair when I'm down here. And this was it was super
Back up to 70 degrees, so it might be the
So,
HVAC system. I think I heard it just
still
turn
love
off.
theaters,
So
but theaters are kind of more fun when they're.
it might just be the ambient air temperature with the HVAC system running.
Yeah, next, you know what, you're going to have people that play on the stage and go, what? What was that? And we wanted to ask the construction workers eventually, try to see if we can find them, to ask them
Yeah.
if they had, because they totally would have to have experiences while they were building this place.
Yeah. I had two guests actually come up to me while I was working here and said there was a whole thing going on, but in the light box upstairs, they came out they were apparently looking around, and then when they came down to the party down here, they saw me and go, "Is this place haunted?" And I was like, I'm like, well, I've heard things about it being haunted. Yeah, what's up? And then a girl said that the chair in front of her physically moved or something
Whoa.
without anyone touching it.
Where is that? I'm gonna go ahead
You
and
guys
stop
really
that.